Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome. It's a brand new week. This is CMI Socials, and I am Oluwatoyin Stevens here to take you on the social media journey. A whole lot of things happened over the weekend, a whole lot of trend, from hashtag Sanwo-Olu to hashtag President Bola Tinubu to hashtag Betta Edu. Anyway, let's get on with it right away. We begin with the story where it says that President Bola Tinubu has ordered a thorough probe of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation led by Dr. Betta Edu. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, made this known in a statement yesterday precisely. Controversy had enveloped Edu's alleged involvement in the approval of over 585 million naira to be disbursed into a personal account. Now, in a letter allegedly signed by the Humanitarian Minister, she allegedly instructed the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Madein, to transfer the sum to the account of Oniyelu Bridget as grant for vulnerable groups in 4 states. However, Toyin explained that although her office received a request from the Humanitarian Ministry to make certain payments, her office did not act on it. Now, Dr. Edu, who is the youngest minister in the president's cabinet as we speak, subsequently said there were plans to tarnish her image, adding that she won't embezzle government fund. Incidentally, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is presently probing Edu's predecessor, Sadiya Farouk, over alleged laundering of 37.1 billion naira during her tenure as a minister under the administration of ex-President Muhammadu Buhari. Let's get your reactions on the streets of social media. So this user says, if you ordered probe of someone, shouldn't you ask the said person to proceed on temporary suspension till the matter is determined? But then again, what do I know? Precious on Instagram says, with the poverty rate in Nigeria, I don't believe anyone with human sympathy would be siphoning millions. We're talking millions of naira right here. Moving over to other reactions on this particular story. Oscar on Twitter. Edu was too quick. Slow down, madam. Some things way all that they do for over 8 years. It reach your turn. You want to run them in 8 days. Come on now. Stop playing. Stop playing. Moving over to another reaction real quickly. Emeka Opada on Twitter says, imagine making this lady the president of the country. She would just sell us to China. Come on now. It hasn't gotten to that yet, Emeka. Okay, let's move over to another one. Do we have another reaction on the story? Okay, finally on the story. Now this user says, it seems what they do at that humanitarian ministry is just to steal. They are not doing any humanitarian service there at all. Right. Now, that is your own opinion, I would say. But still on this particular issue, just to let you know that the ministry is barely 5 years, and it did kickstart during Muhammadu Buhari's tenure during the second part of it. And within the space of 5 years, back to back to back, the 3 amazing ladies who have been on that particular, ministry has done a whole lot. But anyway, we'll be here to keep you up to speed as things unfold. Moving over to the second story. Now, President Bola Tinubu has approved the payment of 12 billion outstanding backlog for Nigeria's national teams of various sports, which include Super Eagles and others. The payment entails the clearing of the senior national team coach salaries running up to 15 months, payment of allowances and promises due to the senior national team's females and the under-20 national team. This is coming at a time when the Super Eagles of Nigeria are preparing to participate in the Africa Cup of Nations, which is built to start later this month. Let's see how you reacted online. So this user, 7 Tribes of Ford on Twitter says, it is commendable that President has approved the 12 billion naira payment to clear outstanding dues for Nigeria's national teams, ensuring support and financial stability, especially crucial as the Super Eagles gear up for the Africa Cup of Nations. Totally agree with you on this one. Moving over. Moving over, right? This user, David Oluwatoyin, says, some national teams will not see this money. We all know the drill. Let's have the list of all national teams and the outstanding payments listed so we know which belongs to whom. But then again, it's Nigeria. Can we get to this level of transparency? Now, that's a question only the politicians can answer. Moving over to other reactions on this particular story, let us see what we have next. Dare Kuti, please let it be on the record that football is not the only sport in Nigeria. This is January. Nigeria handball men team are attending the Africa Cup of Nations. Quadri Aruna sponsored himself to the WTT Doha 2023. Please, other sports need support more than the Super Eagles. Cheers. Cheers, 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 indeed. Now, can we move over to the third story I have for you recently? Yes, okay, so finally on this particular one, moving over to the third story. Now, it seems to me, and it seems to Nigerians, one would have thought that the Wike saga would have, concluded and ended with the last year. But apparently, there is nothing of such, as the Minister of the FCT has been at loggerheads with his successor, Governor Simfubara, while President Bola Tinubu had waded into the political tangle. Wike believes with time, residents of the state will know the real political giants. He says, and I quote, "Forget about these hungry noisemakers on the road. When the time comes, we will know who is in charge and who is not in charge." I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. There is a time for everything. There is a time to plant and there is a time to harvest. Wike told a gathering when he visited a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Victor Gaidom, in his hometown in Gokana local government area of Rivers State on Saturday. He also says that we have no time for politics. This is not the time for anybody to say, I am for this and I am for that. We have not reached that time yet. When the time comes, we will know who is who, he maintained. Now let's see what he really said. Let's have a feel of it if the video is ready, if the clip is ready, and then I'll be here to take your reaction on the story.
To make an impact in the life of people. Forget about these hungry noisemakers on the road. When the time comes, we'll know who is in charge or who is not in charge. I don't know whether you understand what I say. There's a time for everything. There is time to plant. There is time to harvest. We have no time for politics. There's no time for anybody to say, I'm for this, I'm for that. We have not reached that time. When the time will reach, we will know who is there, who. If he didn't dare, he didn't dare. If you like, abuse me as you want. If you like, employ everybody in social media. Let me tell you.
Yes, indeed, there is a time for everything. Well, now is the time for me to see your reactions on the space of social media. So, can we have reactions, please? This user says, FCT minister is in charge of Rivers State. How? Now he is asking there. Well, only him can answer that one. Let's get all the reactions. Let us see what we have. Okay, I also remember a couple of users saying that during the time of him being a governor, did Amechi disturb him as this? What is really going on? Charles on Twitter says, for me, Governor Sim is very, very slow in action. Left for me, by now, I would have installed all my loyalists into every position. Remove the local government chairman, remove all party leaders who are not loyal. Time is ticking and Wike is aware. Dying minutes is so confusing to make appointments. Now, we're going to leave the story right here, and hopefully things should get better in Rivers State, because it seems to me that every now and then Wike is always trending on the space of social media, and I'll be here to let you in on all of it. Now, my final story for today. So on Twitter, this particular lady, Debbie, also known as Mommy Z, yes, whose real name is Jasmine Lovett, has gathered a whole lot of, fame following her post on X, formerly Twitter, about how she gets up as early as 4:50 a.m. to cook food for her husband after he disclosed to her that his female colleague in the office brought 2 spoons with her food so that she could eat together, or they could eat together. Now, the post caused a stir as some users mocked her for believing that cooking for a man that early would keep him, while others supported her by contributing to celebrate her dedication. The Lagos State-based mother became a millionaire in less than 48 hours as Nigerians began to shower her with gifts, both in cash and in kind. Now this trended and it's still trending, but let's get to your feel on this one. Now, this user says, it's quite incredible. When God wants to change one's story, it happens in a blink. Thank God for the family. Whoop. Yes, indeed. Thank God for the family. Moving over to other reactions we have on the story. Okay, so Shoe Seller says, Debbie's story is such a beautiful example of true love. It is heartwarming to see how she stayed true to her feelings and didn't settle for anything less. Love stories like hers always gives us hope and makes us believe in the power of genuine connections. Right, yes indeed. Well, we're going to wrap up this particular story here, but also to let you know that as we speak right now this morning, she's on the front page of the Punch newspaper. She also drew the attention of NNPC, giving her a stipulated number of fuel for a certain period. She has changed her mattresses. It all speaks about the power of social media and what you are doing on the space of social media. Well, if you're looking for a Monday morning with motivation, here it is. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Oluwatoyin, and I'll see you tomorrow.
On independent television, TMI Socials at 8:30 a.m. from Mondays to Thursdays, and this morning on ITV. Watch out for moments of browsing and dovetailing into trending and intriguing stories around the world on social media with Oluwatoyin Madein. Don't miss it.